Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Levi, and I'm here with Ryan. This is the first official podcast of we're going to call it the Refounding Fathers. I just wanted to say welcome, a special warm welcome to the FBI agent who is now assigned to listen to us. And so we're just going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk. And
we already did one, and we fucked the whole audio up on it. So
2 hours of our life just gone.
Yep, two whole hours, and a lot of good topics that now we can't talk about the same way because we've already talked about them.
Yeah,
loses kind of some of its appeal.
So that's good. So yeah, what do you want to start off on?
So I'd like to start off with something that doesn't ramp us up or piss us off. We gotta go something lighthearted if we can. Man, there's not a lot of topics that don't piss me off.
The whole OK Boomer thing's pretty awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's a very entertaining thing that's going on right now.
It's not even millennials, like the generations after millennials have been called millennials. They're like, oh, millennials are so lazy, blah, 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 blah. Now we have a comeback for that, because you know what our curse is? Our curse is fixing all the problems that the boomers created.
And that the millennials didn't fix. They complained.
I wouldn't even say that.
I'm not going to say that I'm for or against the work of the millennials so far. I think, every action has a reaction. I think the boomers created these issues through complacency mostly.
Yeah.
But the millennials, all they did was
complain about it?
Yeah, most of what they did was complain about it, and most of their solutions were just absolutely fucking horrible. They never actually got anything genuinely done. All they did was, make us lose freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Sold their souls to fix these stupid
problems.
problems.
Every generation sells more and more freedom.
Yeah. We need to be the one to not, but...
Yeah, that's a big thing right now.
But by lighthearted, I meant, talk about how fun it is to shoot 22 shorts.
Oh, yeah. And, not great areas to shoot
22 shorts.
Yeah,
if you have been thinking about getting a pellet gun, don't do it. Buy a 22. I bought, what is that? Was it a Rossi?
Yeah, like $100 Rossi.
It was. I think the price tag was $98, so in taxes, just a little bit over $100. And
theft.
After theft. A little bit over $100, and you can go to the store and buy. They're not even 22 shorts.
They're 22 longs.
They're 22 longs
with no powder in them.
But they're just subsonic. They was 510 feet per second.
Yeah, 525 grain bullet. So that means there's 525 feet per second from a 20 grain bullet. So there's nothing.
There's no powder in this thing. It sounds like a pellet gun. We just brought it out back and shot it, and it sounded hilarious. But it is going to be so much fun to just dig around now that I can, without alerting the neighbors.
I wonder if you can shoot if a military boot would repel that.
If a what?
One of those boots if it would go through or if it would just bounce off.
I bet you if you shot it in the right spot, it would totally bounce it. Because in the front, they got a little bit of plastic underneath the leather. It would probably just bounce that sucker right off. It might leave a mark.
That's we're talking if the bullet was plastic, we could be playing airsoft with it.
Yeah,
please don't. That was a joke.
Yeah, don't shoot each other with real guns.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
But yeah, you're you're at the level of Red Riders.
Yeah, for real.
Shooting each other with Red Riders.
Yeah, which
also dangerous. Don't do that.
But very fun if you enjoy a risky lifestyle.
Yeah, you can definitely put an eye out with those.
Yeah.
That was the kind of lighthearted talk I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, something not.
We can start.
I just I don't want to be angry yet. Give me a second.
Fair.
Oh, actually, on that note.
So and we're back after being so rudely interrupted by the guy who couldn't keep his phone on silent.
Yeah. Okay. It was an important phone call. I couldn't miss that.
It was. I know. So, what were we talking about?
I don't know, but...
talking about guns.
Oh, okay.
Guns are good.
Yeah, guns are good. Guns are fun. But I want to take a brief intermission to talk about how fucking pissed off I am about this bottle of Jameson. So, this bottle of Jameson this handle of Jameson that we're pouring shots out of right now, really made me angry the other day. So, you know how they normally come with like a party stopper in them? Well, for some reason, they have determined the best idea in the world would be the seal can only work with the party stopper in it. So you pop that son of a bitch out because you're tired of pouring rinky-dink shots that take 30 seconds to pour, and now your bottle doesn't seal and you can't store it in the back of your car. Otherwise, it'll just pour out everywhere. How am I supposed to transport my fucking Jameson to where I want it to go? Okay, I'm done.
Anyway, all gun laws are infringements.
Get into that one then? So...
Yeah, I shouldn't have to buy a permit to carry a gun. I shouldn't have to buy my rights back from the government. And that goes for most permits. Especially the Second Amendment one, though.
Yeah, especially constitutionally protected rights. I totally agree with you on that one.
I shouldn't have to buy a permit to be a journalist.
That's how someone I know gets away with, or doesn't get away, has to kind of skimp on their taxes. Because man owns and operates his own business. Well, if he makes over this much money, he has to be licensed and insured and all this stuff, and he's only, he's the only guy in the business. He doesn't have other people under him. He does all the work himself. So his ability to make money is directly limited by the government saying, "Hey, you've got to get a license for this, and you've got to go through our required training," or whatever the hell the process is for that. Or else, you can't make more than $30,000 a year. Man obviously makes more than $30,000 a year. But...
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can write as much off his business expenses as you possibly can, yeah.
Well...
And just all the different loopholes and stuff.
Well, he does cash as often as possible.
Yeah.
He gives huge discounts for paying in cash because it's literally more beneficial to him. Mm-hmm. However, what totally sucks is, this man who's, I would say, a very important part of not just the community, but, he's got a family and all that stuff, be totally fucked if he ever got audited. They would come to his house, like...
With guns,
because they would very quickly figure out that he was not telling them everything.
Yeah.
And, they would kill both his dogs.
Yep.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The dog epidemic speech.
Oh, the dog epidemic speech. So, we're going to leave alone the certain parts of it, like the fact that the ATF and tax agencies shouldn't be armed. We'll leave that alone. That's another topic entirely. But enforcement officers of every level kill between 25 and 30 dogs a day.
Nationwide. This isn't each officer every day.
Oh yeah. It's not like every officer has just a puppy shooting range in his backyard.
Oh yeah, they turn on dog targets. You can hear it? Yeah, 25 to 30 dogs in the United States are killed every day by law enforcement.
Why? Is that not fucking ridiculous?
The dogs can be aggressive. Dogs are killing machines. We know this. But that's a lot of dogs.
And if you get over the fact that someone's property has just been killed, because dogs, they are property. An animal is a property of whoever owns it. So, if we get rid of the property rights part, I don't think the officers actually understand that they're complicating the situation.
Yeah.
They made the next 3 seconds of their life very simple. The dog is dead, now I don't have to worry about the dog. Well, I bet you the owner is fucking livid, and now thinks that this is a legit, dangerous situation, and is willing to gun you down back for killing his dog. So, now you're either going to have to use force and arrest the shit out of the guy in some kind of brutal or... he's not just going to hand himself over. Or you're going to have to fucking kill him. Because that man is going to be livid. You shot my dog, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I don't even like animals necessarily. Like, I don't form bonds with animals well.
Yeah.
Animals don't like me is actually the real problem.
It's like, but yeah, just from a property perspective, it's like if someone just started smashing the shit out of your windshield.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if a cop was like, I don't like the fact that this guy owns a car he could run me over with and then just fucking put 6 rounds through the engine block. Dude, I'd fucking drop anyone who tried to shoot my car.
Yeah. I just hate the double standard. Because at the end of the day, yeah, dogs are vicious killers. They are wolves that have been bred and trained into being servants of ours. There's always times that vicious wolf instinct will come out. Very possible. Especially if they've been abused or neglected. They have to fend for themselves more often. What gets me is that, let's pair these two examples together. You have a dog and a civilian owner. That dog loses its mind and attacks the officer. Like, legitimately attacks him. Not like, he doesn't just bark at him or like sniff his feet or something like that. Like, this dog, a German Shepherd, legitimately attacks the officer of the law. Okay? Then the officer would be completely justified to shoot that dog. And I understand, and I respect that. If a dog was attacking me, I would probably shoot it if it was legitimately attacking me. But if a police dog loses its mind, legitimately loses its mind, it just goes crazy without any, I need my dog to go chase down this hardened criminal. No. And police dogs are still wild animals to an extent. They still have that wolf instinct. They only have the ability to do what they've been trained to do. And sometimes instinct does break training. So, if a police dog loses its mind and attacks me when I have done nothing wrong, and I shoot that dog, then that means I have killed a police officer, which is automatically a first-degree murder charge, no matter the circumstances. So now I have to go fight in court, the superior court, why I killed an officer of the law, which is not going to be an easy fight for me.
No, it's never
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, legal fees,
and that's okay. So I agree. That's completely fucked, right?
Yeah.
But even if you just look at the semantics of the fucking issue, murder is the killing of another human being. By definition, that is what that is. So are dogs now humans?
Police dogs are humans.
Okay, where's the distinctive point where, we'll throw this back to the abortion conversation. When does this dog become human? Is it upon graduation? At birth? What's the fucking...
it's been trained.
What's the line in the sand there? And that's the real issue, I guess, with what I'm saying, is not only is the semantics immediately prove this shouldn't be an issue, but there's no line in the sand. There's nothing... There's no definitives. And if, this is the law, you kind of have to some extent, definitives.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's all completely up to whatever asshole is enforcing it. And sometimes it's a good dude, sometimes it's a fucking raging dick who just wants to, throw power around.
Yeah. And, I love all animals, especially dogs. Well, not all animals, that's stretching a bit. I love all dogs. Dogs are awesome. Police dogs are cool as shit. But there's still always the possibility of them just going crazy and attacking random people. I don't like double standards.
Yeah,
most police officers who shoot dogs, they get away with it. There's no punishment, even if the dog didn't have a threat. Yeah, the owner can sue, but that officer isn't going to lose his job. He's not going to be demoted, nothing like that.
Their punishment normally ends up being something like paid leave.
Yeah,
while they try and figure out the issue.
Which is vacation.
Yeah, that's literally vacation.
Paid leave while their friends try and figure out the issue. Their friends are investigating it. So they're already biased towards the officer.
Stupid biased. If you could do anything you could to make sure one of your good buddies didn't get in trouble, chances are you do it.
Yeah.
We're all human. Not only do we all have biases, but we all, we think too much. We're like, but, he killed his dog, but he's got a wife and kids and family, and he's got to support them. We can't let him lose his job.
Over a dog?
Over a dog? Yeah. So they'll do whatever to make sure it's not a problem. Not all of them. There are definitely people who break the bounds, but there's an exception to every rule.
So speaking about double standards, man, that's going on a big anti-cop rant, and we're gonna get flagged immediately for this.
Oof. Oof. Should we change directions?
No, I want to get this out there.
All right, let's go down that road.
So, the idea of police officers is a good thing. You need people who are willing to risk their lives, to sacrifice themselves to protect the public. A lot of officers...
To enforce constitutional law.
To enforce constitutional law.
Protect the public is, I think, where we have an issue now. They're like, safety.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
Technically, the Supreme Court ruled this in 2005. Police officers have no constitutional duty to protect you. So if a police officer is watching you get stabbed to death, they don't have to do anything about it. Constitutionally.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You are the only person responsible for your own safety. So calling the cops is not, most cops will probably be like, oh shit, this guy's in danger, so I'm actually going to go help them. They don't have to.
Yeah, and also when they show up, they're not 100% sure who everyone is. So you could get gunned down on accident because, high adrenaline situation. No one knows what the fuck's going on.
And that's a hard one because...
I'm not judging them for it. I'm just saying that's why you need to be responsible for your personal safety.
Like,
if someone's stabbing the shit out of you, you need to have 6 bullets in them already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call the cops to come sort the situation out when the guy is dead.
Yeah, or the threat is over.
The threat is over is actually the proper way to say that. But.
So, where I was going with this... We need to get rid of the double standards between law enforcement and civilians. Constitutionally, police officers are just civilians who can arrest for misdemeanors, not felonies. Civilians can arrest people for felonies. Cops can arrest people for misdemeanors. So let's bring this into the felony murder rule. So the felony murder rule is a very interesting law, and most states abide by it. Or not abide by it because it's not federal law, but most states have things...
Their own felony murder rule.
Yeah,
felony murder rule.
Yeah. Which is, to put this simply, imagine you and a friend decide to go rob a liquor store. So, you guys bust in there, guns drawn, give us all your money. Well, the cashier at the liquor store has an AR-15 behind the counter. And he guns your friend down, and you freak out and leave and run away. Well, cops apprehend you. So, in states with a felony murder rule, if there is a death that happens during the commission of a felony, the perpetrator of the felony gets charged with that murder. So the person who ran, if you ran and your buddy got gunned down, you would be responsible for his murder. Sounds like justice on paper.
Yeah, but...
Until you think about all the possibilities that law could...
Some fucking kids skip out on school, right?
Yeah.
And they're driving down the road, and the one buddy they have that has a car, and they're just having a good old fucking time. And delinquent motherfucker in the back right pulls a gun and shoots some guy in the car next to him in the process of robbing him, and then hops back in the car. Guess what? You're all now felons.
Yep.
Didn't matter if you had any association with the fact... You didn't even have to know he was going to do that. You didn't have to know he had a gun on him. You're all felons now.
Yeah.
Because they want to put you away for so long with a record that you cannot repair, so that you are completely dependent on them to provide for you so they can control your actions by threatening to take away what they provide for you.
Yeah.
In case anyone was wondering how the criminal justice system works right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, now we have a double standard. So, how often... This happens fairly often, where cops do murder people.
Yeah.
Cops do murder people.
Yeah.
Illegitimately. It's not as common for those cops to be charged with murder. But it happens. What I'm saying is, if civilians are held accountable for the felony rule, cops have to as well. If we're going to have this law at all. And I know that if there wasn't a double standard, I know if cops were held to this rule, this law would be stricken off the books immediately. Because you and your partner respond to a high-intensity situation, and you gun someone down illegitimately, and both of you go to prison?
Yeah, just for being affiliated.
Just for being there? It's not going to happen.
No, that would never pass.
But if the double standard was gone, that law would be thrown out.
Exactly. So, honestly, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
They should be classified the same way we are classified and held accountable the same way we are.
Yeah.
And in doing so, we would reclaim miles of freedom.
Yeah.
That people don't even realize they don't have.
Because, I mean, the book was, what was it called? It was 3 Felonies a Day. There are so many laws.
Have you read that?
I haven't read it the whole way through.
Okay.
I
haven't?
No. I've written some papers quoting it, so I know it exists.
Okay, yeah, because I've looked up stuff about it, and it looked like a really interesting book, but I never ended up actually buying it.
So here's an easy one, and especially for the people who live in like the Appalachian Mountain kind of area. So, have you ever pulled an arrowhead out of the ground, an Indian arrowhead?
Like, you're walking, you leave your property on a deer hunt.
You're fishing.
You're doing whatever, because I mean I love to do all those things.
Hiking,
and you're just walking and you find something. You're like,
what's this?
That looks so much like an arrowhead that no one could prove that it wasn't. I think that's cool as hell. You pocket it.
Yeah. So I think it was 1975 that this law was passed, and I forget the name of the law. But yeah, you just committed a felony.
Yep, you are now a felon.
If you pick up arrowheads on not private property that is not yours, you just commit a felony. Good job. That's a felony. So
the Appalachian Trail.
I wrote about this. I wrote about this in a paper I did for college. So imagine yourself in a situation where you and your friend find an arrowhead on public property. You pick up this arrowhead and you put it in your pocket. And this is a bit of a reach, but it is very possible with how messed up our legal system is right now. You put the arrowhead in your pocket. Well, you didn't see that park ranger behind you who saw you do it, and he knows it's illegal. So he starts asking you for ID. And your friend reaches for ID, which is in an area where a gun possibly could have been. And he pulls it out too quickly. So park ranger freaks out and guns your friend down. So now you have just there has been a murder during the commission of a felony, and now you are a murderer and are going to prison under the felony murder rule.
On top of the felony that you just quote-unquote committed by picking up and pocketing an arrowhead.
Yeah.
You are now a double felon. That's worse than a single felon.
And some states with the felony murder rule, they've extended it to include drug dealers and people who give drugs to other people. So, like Louisiana, if you give someone tainted drugs...
Or even just normal drugs and they OD on them.
Then you can be charged with felony murder.
Because everyone's like, tainted drugs are the problem. Sometimes drugs are the problem. It doesn't have to be tainted.
Screw personal responsibility. We always have to put someone away for something.
Yeah.
This person who died because of this is not responsible for it. It's always someone else.
What if they wanted to die? Like, I'm not saying...
It's so dangerous.
Like, I don't have...
Say, like, oh yeah, so, like, you're a good friend of mine, say you're a cop. Not even a cop, I shouldn't even say that. Say you're a responsible armed citizen who carries a gun. And you misplace your gun. Something along those lines. And I'm a good friend of yours, and I trust you, so I loan you a carry gun. Just so you can protect yourself. Well, you're having a really bad day. Life just going down the tank. And
you failed all your classes in college. You're getting a divorce currently. Like,
you lost your job.
There's
you just
quote unquote nothing left in your eyes.
And you just take the gun that I loaned you and you just cap yourself. A good prosecuting attorney could get me for felony, especially
a bad prosecuting attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make that distinction. A prosecuting attorney should be able to read the situation and determine whether a crime has happened or not, and then prosecute on that basis.
Yeah,
but
there was no felony being committed during that. Yes, but when will it be a felony to know someone has negative thoughts? Oh yeah, I know you're down in the dumps, man, but you need to be able to protect yourself. When will that become a felony?
Which, that's the hard part, too, because when someone when someone's down in the dumps, that's kind of when they need to be able to protect. If your whole life fell apart, what would make it just that much worse? Not being able to protect yourself. So you get robbed on the street, and all you can do is hand over your wallet. What makes you feel more like shit than not being able to protect yourself? Like, you don't even feel like you're in control of your own personal safety. That's like the last barrier.
Yeah.
Like, so if someone's down in the dumps, it's actually very sensible to help them out in a situation like that. Like, oh shit, you misplaced your gun, you went over to a friend's house and left it there, and, you know, it was a friend you haven't seen in a long time that lives 6 hours away. Yeah, it's not sensible to go there right now. Oh, that's just... We're already committing thought crimes right now.
Oh, yeah. And,
like if you hear glass shattering and gunshots, it's because the KTF and every other agency that's 3 letters long decided we're too much and they're trying to kill us. Oh, hey, FBI agent, I just thought I'd give you a shout out.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta like mention him a couple times just so he feels important.
Yeah, I know. Otherwise, like,
hey, buddy.
If your job was to listen to us just bullshit with each other for however long we plan on doing this, I think this episode's supposed to be an hour.
Yeah.
Where would you derive your sense of purpose if that was your job? I don't know about you. I'd fucking paint a wall with my skull.
He's in his office in Quantico going, aww.
So, hopefully he doesn't listen to this episode. Yeah, so we'll give him some shout-outs every once in a while. Let him know that we care about him. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Don't do it. You're probably a good person.
You want to live, just find a different job. You'll find more value in it.
Go work for...
yourself.
Yeah.
In a farm.
Yeah.
Growing your own food. Trust me, that would be literally the most...
Stop working for an agency that was started by a cross-dresser.
Well, we've already pinned ourselves. There we go.
Yeah, we're done. We're gonna get shot.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Oh my gosh.
It'll be fun.
It's just the felony murder rule, it sets a very dangerous precedent. Very dangerous precedent.
It does. Like a lot of laws, it sets the precedent that it doesn't matter whether you are innocent or not. It matters whether we can jail more people or not.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue that I have. Because, I mean, we've been saying, not we, the United States have been saying it for a long fucking time now. Like, our criminal justice system's kind of fucked up. Like, it's not conspiratorial to say that the criminal justice system can completely fuck your entire life up for something that you didn't have You didn't deserve to have your life fucked up. But it can bury you one piece at a time. It will make you not only dependent, but it'll make it harder for you to live outside of the criminal justice system. I'm pretty sure there's proof of this all the way. At least I'd say the 80s. I don't know a whole lot about it before then, but like the 80s, 90s, and forward is where it started getting really fucking stupid.
Alright, we'll go into this in a second. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back again. Train of thought is completely gone, so we're just gonna see where this takes us.
Yeah, so I'm just going to apologize now for the amount of breaks that we've taken. There were unexpected interruptions that keep deciding to just show up.
Yeah.
So
all
important and necessary.
You want to start off with the Orion Rant segment?
Oh, we can go for a Ryan Rant segment.
Okay, let me find some...
You just got to make sure you find something that really pisses me the fuck off, right?
So, Ryan Rants is a section where I read off news articles and he gets mad about them.
News articles that are specifically, or probably specifically designed to make me mad. We did this section on the horrible audio version of our first podcast, and it was pretty okay. So we decided that'll definitely be a part of it. Along those lines, we're probably going to have a couple other parts, like when we invite other people that we or deem valuable. We'll have some guests here, and we'll do a Drunk Valley podcast, which is going to be when our guest comes over here and gets absolutely plastered with us while we make a podcast. Because I figured, what's more enjoyable than that?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Come up with anything good yet?
Working on it.
Or has today been a slow day?
It's been a slow day.
Damn, yesterday was a slow day too.
Mm-hmm.
That's good news.
I mean, I'm sure Russia and Ukraine are still bashing it out. China's still being evil. I'm sure Hong Kong is still under siege. Oof.
I mean, all those things suck. But, if you have any, local news, that would definitely,
Yeah, local?
I don't mean local, but,
American news?
At least American news.
Yeah, so they're still trying to impeach Trump. They just keep saying the word impeach. I'm not necessarily pro-Trump, but I really don't understand what they're trying to impeach him on. I mean, honestly, if we hadn't given the presidential office an egregious amount of power, we wouldn't have to ever impeach any president, because constitutionally, a president was supposed to be a glorified paperboy. He just signed things. That was it. That was his job.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like the whole idea behind the Queen in, England or Britain or whatever they call themselves now. Kind of more of a figurehead than anything.
England is the country, Britain is the continent, I think.
Okay, so England is the actual country that has Scotland above it.
Yeah.
Britain is the conglomerate of Wales.
England. No.
It's England. There's a little. Okay, no.
All right, time for
Ireland.
Geography. Yeah, Ireland.
Yep.
I think it's Ireland, Scotland.
I've got it really bad. I thought there was 4. Iceland might be a part of it.
No.
You sure?
No,
I almost swore it was 4 different nations that kind of conglomerated together. Also, Ireland, step your fucking game up. You let Britain take you over. Come on.
Scotland did too, but Scotland didn't have the IRA, so.
Come on.
They did Braveheart.
Ireland.
They had an American play a really bad Scottish guy. Mel Gibson, that accent was bad. So.
I still stand where I stand. Ireland, step your fucking game up. You are your own free nation.
Yeah. And don't, go in there and just establish another socialist country. Make yourselves free.
Real free. No income tax free, please. I would move to Ireland.
So, in 2018, the birth rate fell to the lowest level in 32 years.
The birth rate of America?
Yes, Americans.
Yeah, I totally figured that.
Lower than it has been since the Great Depression.
Well, you got fucking... ooh, that hurts. That wasn't the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone's like, we can hardly afford to not die.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still having more kids than us.
Yeah.
See, but we're at the point where... where we have fucking media outlets constantly talking about how kids are the worst thing in the fucking world. Like... I'm not trying to split the media up into separate groups based on, like, their level of conservatism or liberalism, but,
we need a hardcore libertarian outlet.
there is definitely the left just pumping out fucking, don't have kids, kids suck, why would you want kids, this is horrible for your career, blah, 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 all that kind of... They're indoctrinating you to not want to have kids. Please, everybody, all Americans have kids, because the issue is not... People like, misclassify this stuff. The issue is, anyone after the first generation of American needs to have kids. Because the living in America for a certain period of time is kind of what makes you an American. So, the further along the way you have been an American, which, doesn't matter who the hell you are, if you are here and have citizenship here, you are an American. That's what propagates the next generation. And that generation lives here and goes, hey, this is fucking awesome, we should continue this. All of you need to continue to have kids. Because it's like the only people the left wants to have kids are direct immigrants. Doesn't matter where the hell you're from, they would rather you come here and have kids so you can indoctrinate them to believe whatever your country believed. Including, oh man, like Europe is in such a state of disrepair right now.
Europe's going down hard.
I don't want you to come here and have kids unless your kids are going to have kids that lived an American lifestyle, not a European lifestyle.
And we're not even talking like modern American lifestyle. We want everyone to live the American dream as it was meant to be, not this corporate.
Not the message of consume, reproduce,
obey.
And make them consume and obey. Yeah. The original American dream was absolutely beautiful. It was the message that if you come here and you put your work in and you figure your shit out, or maybe you don't have it completely figured out, but you can at least leave your kids in better shape than when you started. So generation by generation by generation, you can eventually create something worth creating. You might not have been the one to create the awesome grandeur that is your family.
But you laid the foundation.
That's exactly it. You laid the foundation for something that could be amazing. That is the American dream. It is for a bunch of self-sufficient, skilled workers to come to a place to be free enough to leave their children something greater than they started with, to be ruled by nobody and rule no one. That is the American dream. And I think we have gotten so fucking far away from that it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, no one has that in mind anymore. The American dream is just fucking consume. I have to have the new fucking whatever.
Supreme hoodies.
Yeah, like, oh, I want that, 16 grand hoodie with the fucking, it's just solid white with the fucking word Supreme on it. That's fucking stupid.
That's like NFA money. That's a machine gun.
Yeah! Oh!
Or a good car.
I'm super pissed at anyone who owns something that costs the same as a fully automatic weapon.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you could have spent it on something more important. Which is a fully automatic weapon.
Which, there shouldn't be an NFA in the first place, but, oh.
Oh, totally agree. And because of the NFA, scarcity is made between automatic weapons. And that's why they're so fucking expensive. Yep. Because really, there's almost no difference between...
Well, don't say that, because if someone who doesn't understand firearms hears that there's no difference, and they're going to be like, oh, you can just turn any gun into a fully automatic machine gun.
Okay, so that's not true. Not every weapon can just be turned into a fully automatic machine gun.
Most can.
Yeah. But
there's a lot of tech.
There is no price difference in producing a fully automatic weapon and a normal semi-automatic weapon. Yeah. I hate to say normal. Fuck me for saying that. There is no difference between producing a semi-automatic weapon and a fully automatic weapon price-wise.
You know,
the difference is the demand and the supply. Well, because the government cut the supply off, the demand is high as fuck, so we can charge whatever the hell we want for this fully automatic AR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, $25,000. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you know when, like, people from, like, Europe or countries that have a lot of gun rights, they're weirded out when they come over here. Like, people from Switzerland, they're like, why can't I go full auto with these things? It's weird to them because select fire is so normal in countries that have gun rights like we do. Not even like we do, but they have access to guns similar that we do. Similar access.
It's not like...
It's weird.
It's not like England where you can't own, like, a goddamn thing.
Yeah, but like people who live in, like, South Africa.
Oh, I bet you South Africa... or Africans in general are weirded the fuck out.
Yeah, they're like, why is this AK not shoot faster? I
could literally buy a better version of your AK.
I could buy an RPG.
From the guy down... Yeah. I could buy a quote-unquote explosive destructive device from the guy down the street who has a stand in the middle of the city.
Oh, but those are third world countries. That doesn't mean that their right to defend themselves and whatever means they deem necessary to exist. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They're a human. They deserve that right.
Yeah. If
you can't tell me what I don't need to defend myself because you don't know what fight I'm going to have. I don't know what fight I'm going to have. And I want to have the broadest spectrum of armament to defend myself and my family as possible.
And then I'm going to properly choose from that broad spectrum of armaments to fight the fight that is currently happening. Who the fuck is texting me?
I don't know.
It's so loud. I gotta turn my volume down.
You need to put on mute.
Yeah.
This is a very professional podcast.
Entirely. We're definitely not drinking Jamie by the fucking bottle over here.
I mean, I'm not. So, let's see. What's a good topic we can talk about? Let's talk about medical supplies. It boggles my mind that people don't carry at least a tourniquet on them. Life is extremely violent and brutal, and we have been trained to look past it and not see how dangerous life really is. As a human, it's your responsibility to protect your own life. That can mean, oh, I'm going to carry a gun. Oh, I'm going to
carry tourniquets.
Oh, I'm going to install an airbag into my car. Simple things. You and your family's life is dependent on you and your family's ability to defend and protect and extend your lifestyle, extend your life. So there's no reason why anyone in America should not carry a 4-inch by 1-inch tourniquet in their pocket, in their purse.
No, I totally agree with that. Like, I mean, I've got tourniquets all over the fucking place now. Yeah. Thankfully, I have enough to do that.
And that's the bare minimum. Like, that's the lowest level kind of supply you should have.
Like, you crashed your car and the glass severed an artery in your arm. Lower arm, like closer to your hand. You need a tourniquet to not bleed to the point where you pass out.
Yeah.
That's not even considering the other fucking factors, which are like, is there anything wrong with your chest? Did your fucking rib crack and penetrate your lung and your chest cavity.
I saw a video on YouTube of a girl falling 3 feet, and she collapsed her lung.
The human body is so resilient, but so fucking fragile. You cannot... I mean, you can. You definitely can decide not to be prepared, but it can be horribly dangerous. Which is why, if you don't train to be ready for horrible things like that...
And actually have the items needed
to
properly apply in a situation like that.
I would rather somebody have the fake or the bare minimum. They don't have a tourniquet.
I wouldn't say fake, because if you buy a bad, like a Chinese version or a Chinese replica of a cat tourniquet, the windlass will break off.
Okay, and that's what screws it up.
Yeah.
But I bet you are better off tying your belt around your arm as tight as you can than not doing anything. I don't agree that's the way you should do it. You should have an actual tourniquet. They definitely work better. But having some kind of general knowledge about how to save yourself in any situation, very important.
Yeah.
Having the supplies to save yourself in any situation, I wouldn't say more important, but more critical. It becomes more specific.
I agree with the mindset, tactics, skill, gear. Medical understanding would fall under skill. And mindset in a way. But let's say you roll up to a car accident and someone's critically injured, and you don't know how to use any of the medical supplies that you have in the back of your car. But someone else there might. You pull out your aid bag that has all kinds of stuff, tourniquets, decompression needles, chest seals, the whole 9 yards.
Dude, that was like harmonic.
That was good.
I love that.
Narcan. Yeah, I don't even know if we can get Narcan.
I don't know if you're allowed to have that.
Which is crazy because it kills the opiate receptors.
We should all have we should all just have Narcan. Because of the fucking epidemic in this world,
Opiate
or at least
epidemic.
right now
in
America, the opiate epidemic, we should all have Narcan because you don't know who's fucking abusing it. That's the horrifying thing about opiates. Everyone just seems so nice and happy and relaxed until they fuck it up in OD.
But hang on, before we can go into that. So
we can go into that later.
You can at least have a baseline kit in your car. You should have a tourniquet on you, like you should carry a gun. Those are personal decisions. At the bare minimum, you should have a tourniquet on you. You may not be able to defend your life, but you should be able to preserve life. And in your vehicle, you should have a more complicated kit that you can retrieve to help preserve life. Even if you don't know how to use certain things, like a chest decompression needle. Yeah, someone has a collapsed lung. You don't know the exact spot where to poke them with that to decompress the lung that has collapsed inside their body due to weird pressurization issues. You may not know how to use that, but the second person that rolls up to the car accident might be a nurse, might be a doctor, might be an EMT, might be a cop, might be a soldier, might be someone who knows how to properly use that equipment, apply it to you properly, and save your life.
Could be a cop who used to be in the army, was a nurse before that. They could have 6 levels of the same exact training. Like, you're screwing yourself because someone could help you with the same exact equipment you had in your trunk, and you're screwing the person you're trying to help by not having these things.
And even in Georgia, we have what's called the Good Samaritan law. Now, I'm not advocating that you break outside of your training, because training is essential to preserving life. You have to have training on medical items. But if in a life or death situation you messed up using medical equipment that you weren't trained on, most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, do not take this as legal advice, most of the time you will be protected by the Good Samaritan Act because you were trying to help and you messed up.
Unless you're like a medical professional, or there's a couple other exceptions.
Yeah. But please, get training. If you don't want to get training because you're lazy, at least purchase medical supplies. At the bare minimum, a tourniquet. You can learn how to use a tourniquet in 30 seconds on YouTube.
Yeah, like, that is... You can learn how to use a tourniquet. You can learn how to use, what's that called? The gauze that clots blood.
Celox gauze.
Yeah, you can learn how to use that on YouTube. You can learn how to use a pressure bandage on YouTube. You can learn how to use chest seal on YouTube.
It's not like... The fact the government has to have, like, not even the government, but, like, medical agencies, like, you have to be trained to use this. Absolute crap.
It's a liability.
It's better for you to get hands-on training from a professional, but you can learn certain things just through viewing them. And
I would rather have anyone show up to the scene to help me with the proper equipment. That's the other thing. If the guy who you're trying to help is conscious, he might know how to use those things.
Yeah.
Like, if I got into a horrible car accident and a piece of rebar from some random fucking object I hit pierced my chest, I can tell you how to use the fucking needle decompression. Yeah. I can tell you how to put a chest seal on that. Like, I can help you help me.
Yeah.
So at least have the things to help yourself or others, whether or not you know how to use them. Someone might know, and that might save a life.
And if you carry a gun and don't have a tourniquet on you, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're just dead wrong. You are not a protector. You are not a preserver of life. You are just a guy who gets his rocks off to being the good guy with a gun. Because more likely than not, the emergency you're going to find yourself in has nothing to do with gunfighting. And if you are in a gunfight, the first thing that's going to go on you or someone else is going to be your limbs. Because if you are shooting a pistol in the proper way, your hands are in front of your center mass. Your arms are in front of your center mass. Under stress, the majority of people who have been properly trained, or at least know anything about guns, will shoot center mass because you want to poke holes through what is pumping the oil through your body. So your hands and your gun are in front of your center mass. Now you have a bunch of holes in that. So there are arteries that run through your arms. There are arteries that run through your legs. The first things that go in a gunfight, you need to be able to properly fix wounds like that.
Why carry something that is quote-unquote dangerous enough to cause issues that you can't fix the problems of the issues it causes?
Yeah.
Everyone runs into the situation they're not prepared for. Why be the guy who isn't prepared for the situation you run into? Why be the guy who causes the problem for a situation? What if you fucking... Like, bad scenarios happen all the time. You're trying to fucking shoot this guy who's got a gun to the clerk at a gas station's head. And you fucking pull your gun and you pull the trigger 3 times. 2 bullets hit him, 1 bullet hits the dude behind him. At least have the ability to help the other dude. Or, if, considering the fact, like, when you get into a gunfight, people are normally dying already.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you're shooting, people are normally already in pain or dying. So all you did was, quote-unquote,
you
serve justice. You stopped the threat. But the threat on the person who's already been shot isn't the guy who's shooting anymore. It's the massive holes in major organs or limbs that he has. Yeah. So you need to be able to prevent more than just the shooter. You have to be able to prevent the issues that come along with shooting.
So I've got a philosophical question when it comes to this. And this is a hard one. I don't have an answer for it. I just want to start a discussion.
I might.
Someone, say you're in line at the gas station, as aforementioned. Guy robs a clerk, You shoot him a couple times. He goes down. Threat's over. You have the medical aid on you. And you know this guy is going to die if he doesn't get medical attention within 2 minutes. And EMT's 5 minutes. Or EMT is like an ambulance is 5 minutes out. Do you help that man? Do you use your supplies?
Do I? Or is it morally right to do
you?
that? Me? You'd be lucky if I even shot the dude.
Well,
like, I've got a very, like, absolutely fucked and skewed version of self-protection. My self-protection is get the fucking hell away from the threat. If I don't have to shoot this guy, I will not. I will gladly shoot a window out and jump through it. Like, I will run because it is safer for my self-protection and my overall legal status. I'm not losing my guns because I lost a court battle with a criminal. I will gladly bust a window out and jump out that motherfucker. My gun is for my safety, and it might help other people. Your gun should be for your safety, so don't fucking expect mine to help you. You need to carry one yourself.
So let's ask morally.
Morally? Yeah, I'm probably kind of in the wrong in that situation. If I did, morally it happened, I shot the dude, and he's going down. Technically, he's no longer a threat. If I have determined he is no longer a threat...
Which, if he's still a threat, that's different.
Yeah, because if he's still a threat, you're still shooting at him.
Yeah.
But if he's no longer a threat, I would say morally, yes. Apply the tourniquet, put the chest seal on, decompress his chest. Like, his crime might not have been worth death. It might have caused it, and it might have been justified to have caused it, but it's not always worth it morally.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has the ability to turn themselves around, and I would rather... Everyone deserves a second chance. Fuck your third chance. You don't get a third one. So...
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, third time's a charm. I'd rather give him the second chance.
Yeah.
And hell, if you can't even think of it that way, no, he fucking deserves to die, blah, 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 whatever. Some good fucking practice. If you just pump this guy full of fucking lead, and now you've got to save his life, you are going to be a medical guru after that shit.
There is a caveat to this. This is how I was trained. This does not apply to mass shooters. If there was an active shooter and you took down the threat, do not apply medical aid to that person. If you have someone who you visibly saw and can confirm walked into the movie theater you were in, walked into the mall, in body armor with a rifle, and started gunning people down, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that they are an active shooter, legally would be classified as an active shooter, the whole threat thing doesn't matter anymore. That person has been shot multiple times. The active shooter's been shot multiple times. He's on the ground. This is not legal advice. This is what I would do. This is what I've been trained to do. Do not hesitate because you have more important things to do. You have to help out the people who have been shot already. The innocent people
you
who have been
already
shot.
Have stacks of bodies that you need to help survive.
Yes.
It is a liability to not kill him.
Walk up to the active shooter who was wounded but not dead and put as many rounds as you feel necessary into his skull. And then go help out the wounded. And I can't say that... I can't say it's legal advice, because I don't know how that would hold up in court. But this is what I've been trained to do. If you have doubts, don't do it. But there are certain times where finishing the job is necessary for the survival of others. they're just few and far between.
I mean, I'd feel better having saved 3 people's lives and going to jail. I mean,
yeah,
you know my opinions on jail, but if I killed, like, massacred this dude and saved 3 people's life,
and spent the rest of your life in prison, but know you're right.
That's the thing. My ideology would say it doesn't fucking matter. You saved people because of this thing you did. So you know what? You're gonna power through jail, and you're either gonna die there or you're gonna come out and you're gonna feel fucking satisfied about it.
Yeah.
But we are over the 1 hour limit now that we decided we were gonna put on this thing. We got things to do, food to cook, all that kind of shit. So
yeah, it's been fun.
I
hope people enjoy this as chaotic and
random and just haywire as it is.
Yeah.
That's kind of not the idea of this podcast, but that's kind of how it's starting at least.
Yeah.
Not super structured. We're just having a good time talking, hoping we can find people who
maybe you learned something. Maybe you're thinking about things a little bit differently.
However, we would like to hear your opinions.
That's a good one.
So that is super important to us. I do not believe echo chambers are safe or good for mentality.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your opinion. So
yeah, if you're stuck in traffic right now, please don't do anything crazy. Don't get road rage. Don't go beat the guy in front of you with a tire iron because he cut you off 20 minutes ago.
No. Instead, find a way to contact us, which we have not figured out yet. We will eventually figure that one out. A proper, safe way for you to contact us.
Road rage hotline.
The road rage hotline.
Dude, this guy cut me off. I want to kill him. Okay, man, just calm down. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna go home. You're gonna be fine.
It's gonna be at least decent. I can't say.
Yeah, your day may be bad. I'm not gonna say you're gonna have a good day,
but you will make it past this. Okay, we're gonna pause this before we go on this crazy rant on this shit. So.
It's been fun. Thank you for listening, and
this is the Refounding Fathers.
The Refounding Fathers. God bless. Stay free.